Okay, so as Nick has ruined the surprise, last week at Winthrop we did a fundraiser for Machine Gun Preacher because he came and spoke at our school 7 weeks ago, the actual guy, Sam Childers. And just an inspirational story and a really good guy. And so we decided to put a fundraiser on. We had Beside Lights play for us, the band that's heading towards the final for Australia's Got Talent. Very good band. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. We had a rap battle right at the end between me and a bunch of the other teachers. And I had my own crew, and we did like a dance and stuff. I can't do the dance without the crew because I'll feel like an idiot. But I thought that I could, I also sang on the night as well. I'm not going to sing for you either because that would be embarrassing. But I could do the rap if you guys particularly wanted to hear the rap. Do you guys want to hear a rap before I start? Okay. This is, you were listening to a Grit song as you came in. This is also a Grit song called Make Room. So if you want to go look it up afterwards, do that. Make Room by Grits. I feel a little weird because usually I do it with someone beatboxing behind, but I've got to think of the first line and I'll start. Not bad. But I'll probably lose the beat. Okay. My long-range aim is dedicated to change. Persistent twist brings these rhymes only God can explain. Attain divine intervention if your intentions arrested and present in a position to listen to lessons given. Gonna make moves steadily, heavily bruising these dudes who got the gift but abuse tools, misleading these youths. See, my birthright is light in the darkness of night. To lead the lost, paying the price and sacrifice of my life. I've been sitting and contemplating, waiting, anxiously peaking, perception of these releases, embracing the deeper reasons of time and a perfect season, believing this thing is bigger than faces and sounds can, reaching for the completion of purpose and promised land, watching behind the curtain, for certain the game is hurting, looking for some solution, searching for revolution, like music is the conclusion, refusing to look at life and living for full movement. So, imagine that. Like we did a dance and we did some cool thing and then we finished in a cool pose and we won the rap battle. Yay! So there you go. And as lost my breath. I think I spat a little bit too. So if you got a little bit of spit down there, sorry. Yeah, you did. You got it was like going everywhere. Last time I came, which I'm back again, yay! Because obviously I'm not doing something wrong. I'm not upsetting people, otherwise I wouldn't be coming back. I showed you a video of my son Kale. I thought every time I come, I could show you a new video, and then you can like be a part of the family, kind of. So not really, because you're not really at home and you don't feed him. But you can kind of, you see little bits and you see in snapshots. So this is the coolest video I think that I've got of him so far. I'm thinking of sending this to Funniest Home Videos because his giggle is infectious. So this was just hanging and playing one afternoon when I got home from work, and he just broke into this kind of giggle and he wouldn't stop, and it was awesome. So we'll play that video and then we keep going. So that's my son, Carol. He turned 11 months yesterday. You can start the video now. So he's close to his first birthday, and he's doing cool things all the time. I bathed him tonight before my wife went to a Thermomix party. So they cook stuff and then they try and sell this $2,000 machine. I'm like, it's not going to happen. So don't even think about it. But you can go and eat the food, that's fine. But I bathed him before she took Kale, and after the bath, I'm sitting on the edge of the change table, and he's starting to, I think, because my wife kisses him all the time, and then is like, kiss for Kale, kiss for mummy, and then like drags him towards her face, and he's starting to get it. So he'll lean forward. He doesn't know how to kiss though, so he'll lean forward and he'll be like, and so this afternoon he was like, it was funny. It was fun to him. So we could, anyway, I should move on because I'm going to run out of time again. So You guys have been looking at Jesus, and I guess the title is Man with a Mission. So what I want to do today is talk about, I guess, how or the things that Jesus modeled for us as Christians. How he was a model and what he modeled for us in terms of how we're meant to live as Christians. And I think there's some really important stuff. And the truth is that he is an example that we're meant to follow on everything. Jesus is the only perfect person that's ever walked this earth. It may come as a surprise to you, Nick is not perfect. He's not. And I'm not perfect, and I know, right? We're not perfect, okay? No one is perfect. Jesus is the only one that was ever perfect. And so we have role models and people that we look to, that we want to be like, and those people are always going to fall short because they have certain morals and values that are just not healthy for us because no one is perfect. But so the only person that actually was perfect was Jesus. And so he becomes like this perfect example for us to follow. And that's why it's good to look at the way he acted. And what I want to talk about is our relationship with God. And so we're going to look at how he related to God and look at that as an example of how we're meant to relate to God. Jesus gives an example of humility, acceptance, love, strength, how to deal with suffering. Let's get all the laughing out now, and maybe a little the disrespect out now, and because it's a little bit disrespectful to talk while someone else is talking. That's all. So I kind of expect a little bit more of you guys. Here's a perfect example of kindness, showing empathy to people that are going through difficult times and struggles, even leadership. The list is almost endless. There are so many things you can look at, how he handles himself, how he operates as a perfect example of what we're meant to strive to be like. Because we will never be perfect, but it gives us an example. So the elements of Jesus and his relationship with God. And so I want to go through them 5. I want to kind of move through them relatively quickly because of the time that we have. But the first one is reading the Word. And the Bible does actually not show Jesus actually sitting down on his own and reading through the Bible because he knows everything. It's like having this perfect photographic memory. He knows everything in it because he actually, in a way, he is. If you turn to John 1, I've got to find John. John 1, the very beginning of the Gospel of John, it says, John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So this whole Bible that's meant to be like a guidebook for us, it comes directly from God. So Jesus knows, he's obviously quoting it all the way through. He knows it through and through. He knows everything about it. He knows everything that's in it. And see, as Christians, in terms of trying to be like Jesus, the idea is that because Jesus had this whole thing inside here. So he could just rattle off everything inside it. He could just say, this book says this, and this book says this, because he knew it inside. And that's the part of Jesus that we're meant to emulate. We're meant to be able to know what this word is. We're meant to be able to know it inside here. Because when you know it in here, then you begin to live from that knowledge you have inside here. It's the knowledge of God that we have on the inside that we're meant to live from as Christians. We read the Word to gain the knowledge of God, to know Him better. You see, it's all a relationship with God. It's the same as any kind of relationship we have with anyone. The relationship I have with Nick, I don't know him that well. I know him, and he knows me, but we don't know each other really well. And in turn, to be able to get to know each other really well, we have to hang out a lot. We have to, go to the movies and whether it's a bit of a bromance or whatever, you're hanging out, it's cool, you're chatting about stuff. You have to spend time with the person to get to know them. And you have to spend time with God to get to know Him. You have to read His Word to get to know Him. and to have a relationship with him. And it really does come with reading the Word, because the Word is God. So as you're reading it and you get it in here, your relationship with him grows. That's the first one. The second one is prayer. Prayer is just talking to God. I want to simplify it as much as I can. Nick standing up here and praying for the night and praying for this message, he's just talking to God. It's the same as saying, God, I am having a crap day. Can you please help me? It's the same thing. It's just communication. If I'm saying hi to Beck, hi Beck, hi, how you going? You good back there? Comfortable chair? No, they're not really comfortable, are they? No, pretty uncomfortable. You're just talking with the person. That's communication. Prayer is just talking to God and saying, this is good, this is not good, thank you for this, I really need help with this. That's prayer. It's just talking to him. And Jesus went off and prayed all the time. Talk about the Garden of Gethsemane. So I'm spitting again. Gethsemane, where he went and prayed for ages, and knowing what was coming, knowing that the crucifixion was coming, knowing that he was going to die for everybody, he went and prayed. I'll go back to the Garden of Gethsemane later. But even before big decisions, before all the big moments in the gospel, Jesus went and prayed. Before he chose his disciples, the guys that were going to take over from him and literally live for him and shine his light and change the world in his name, he went and prayed all night on top of this mountain. And he prayed to God. In Luke 6, it talks about he went to a mountaintop and he prayed all night to God, because he knew there was a really big decision to make. But that's where the whole prayer thing comes in. He went and prayed all the time. So that's the second one. First one, reading the Word. Second one, prayer. The third one, solitude. We get so busy and so caught up in doing anything. And let me tell you that if you're too busy now, oh man, you are in trouble. Because, in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, I can promise you're going to be a whole lot busier than you are right now. I remember being like 21, 22 and going, man, how can I get any busier than I am right now? Honestly, I remember thinking that, going, I can't fit all this in. I can't practice basketball, and I can't do this, and I've got 4 jobs now. So I've got my business and 3 different jobs at Winthrop, and so I've got 4 different hats I need to change between, as well as being a husband and a father now. I'm definitely busier than I ever have been before. But that happens. And so it's important to learn how to manage that and find time to spend with God. Find time for solitude. Jesus did it all the time. We make time for things that are important to us. If it's important enough, we make time for it. And out of all of the 5 things that I'm talking about tonight, this is the one that I need to work on the most. Partly because I am so busy, but if it's important enough, I make time. Someone gave me a concept about a month ago. I've got a friend who I meet with on Saturday mornings, and I take it's like a dad's club. I take my son, he takes his daughter, we go to the local bakery, and we just sit there and have a coffee and chat. And he was talking about, a counselor ages ago told him this concept of cave time. Men, and I think people in general, need some alone time sometimes, and guys in particular need cave time. They need something that is just them, and they're just on their own, and it's their kind of me time. And I have cave time at the end of the night when Carol's in bed and my wife's in bed. I got about an hour where I sit there and I just play PlayStation. It's my me time. I relax, I chill, I put my headphones on, and everything else disappears, and I save the world, pretty much. So yeah, exactly. But I'm shooting aliens, so it doesn't really count. But it's my me time, right? I really enjoy it, so I make time for that because it's a priority. It's where I relax, and then I go to bed, and I literally fall asleep in like 5 seconds. My head hits the pillow, and I'm gone because I'm so tired. But I find time in the morning to spend with God, but I don't find enough time. So it's one of those things that we can always look at our time schedule and go, where can I find the time to spend with God? It is essential.